Today I'm going to show you how to use selected mask in Photoshop. Hey there and welcome to GFX Garage. In today's video I'm going to show you a brand new feature just released a few years back called Select and Mask. Basically Photoshop has gotten a lot of selection tools together in one dialog. To make it easier, we're going to show you all around the dialog box, showing you how to cut your subject out of your background as well as quick add. We got a great episode guide, so let's go ahead and jump. We have our image for today. We're gonna be cutting out the subject out of her background using the select and mask tool. Now in order to make sure that you have select and mask, make sure you're updated to the current version of Photoshop. So we're gonna go ahead and jump in and show you how we can cut her from her background. Before cutting the image, I'm gonna go ahead, make a solid color. I'm gonna choose this dropper tool and I'm gonna select any other color, and I'll be choosing this color. That's the same color, so you can see that's the same color of her stairs backside, or you could just make it of her legs or anything you actually want to, but I'm going to select this color. Alright, so in order to do that, you can also zoom in from Control plus to have any other color. I'll be doing Control plus and then have my hand tool. I'll be selecting this color or this color. This looks perfect. So this looks like the same color as her band. So with the foreground color loaded, we're gonna go ahead, go to fill or go to layer and go to new fill layer and then solid color, and we'll be doing OK. And this color is nice. So you can see that the color we had loaded has appeared on our image, and our image has stars. So we'll be making a background a normal layer 0, and we would drag a layer 0 up so that we could have the same area. So you can see now we have our solid color. So let's say OK. So now it's time to cut our subject down using our selected mask. You can click any of the select tool. You can use magic wand, you can see quick select, or you can have any lasso tool. So I'm gonna select this lasso tool. So you can see you have your select and mask option right here, or you could just go ahead, click subject, and you have select and mask right here. So you can see right here and also over here. So these both options are for select and mask. Now let's click on up here to select or select and mask, or just select it over here. So now this brings up an entirely new dialog box within Photoshop. It's called select and mask dialog. So basically they just crammed a bunch of different selection tools within one dialog, and it's really helpful. It really does a great job at selecting someone out of her background, which you can use to cut out, and that basically just put a new background on your subject. So it's a very nice tool, guys. So let's go through and show you the tools within the select and mask and all the features and options. So you can see we have our selected mask open right here. We are gonna start off looking at some tools. So here on the left you can see we have our tools over here. So let's see how it works by clicking on an area right on our subject. So it's been, and go ahead and assume that area you want to cut out. So I want to cut out this area, and I'll be selecting this quick selection tool where you can also add and where you could also subtract. So I'm gonna add, I'm gonna view as my marching ants. It is really helpful. Marching ants are okay. So let's have my caps lock off, and Okay, now marching on, and now let's select this area. So now you can see the area we've actually selected has been appeared with some marching ants. So you have your marching ants right here, and you can see, don't worry about the area you have selected more. So we'll just click on Alt to have a minus tool, and from here you can subtract the area you actually have selected. So I've just subtracted this area right here. I'm gonna click on Alt once again and do my selection. I'm gonna zoom in from Control Plus and do Alt and subtract this area. So these marching ants is very helpful for you guys, and it really does a great job. Okay, so now you can see the area we've selected has some marching ants on it, and let's select this area too. Okay, this is much better, I guess. Okay, let's make a bigger brush and let's add this area. Okay guys, so this looks a little cool. Right here we've selected her leg, so let's zoom out from Control minus. Now we have a different view, so I'm gonna go to my onion skin, and you can see we have a different view right over here. So I'm going back on our marching ants. Okay, so now you can see this is a new view, and you can see actually our transparency. So let me see, where is that transparency? Yeah. Oh, our onion view. You can see we also have a transparency. If I go to right over here, the area we have selected will just appear and the other would disappear like this. So I'm gonna have my transparency a little bit more. So it's a very nice tool actually, guys. Okay. So now I use the quick selection tool to select out these legs, and it's really easy to do so. Just simply click and then drag out. So we will click Alt and Option to subtract, so that the quick selection tool has been subtracted. Now we have our finite tool. First we would be selecting all of this quickly, so let's zoom in, and I'm gonna use my marching ants, and I'm gonna have my bigger brush actually. So let's zoom in from Control plus. Oh my god. Okay, so let's do Control C. Okay, so let's do Control plus, and then let's select this area, and okay, let's go ahead. Selection, and I'm going to reduce my brush,
Premiumbeat.com.
So we can take the original area, only this area up here is left, so let's Okay, so here we go. We have all of our selection, all of our girls selected. So you can see the marching ants roaming around here. I'm gonna have my this skin, and you can see that the area we've just selected has appeared. So this looks very great, guys. So let's go to our refine edge tool. Okay, so we've just selected this area, and this was very easy to do so, and make sure that you're doing it very nicely. So our current view is onion, which was a view in second mark. You have it selected. Okay, so now you just have a refine edge tool. So what refine edge tool is, it's used basically this refine edge tool is for some areas, like some soften areas or some areas to smooth off, like hairs. I'm just smoothing this area. Like you can see the hairs are appearing very nicely and very quickly. So this is what refine edge tool is. It's basically for the hairs. Okay, so I'm just gonna have this, and this looks great, guys. So this tool is for just refining the edges. So this looks great. Okay, so now all of this girl has been selected, like hair, and I want to have a different like finance, so it also removes the area that is selected from the background. So it actually also removes the area. So I'm just doing this. Okay, so this is very helpful, guys, and let's go back to our picture from control 0. So this looks pretty awesome. Now we have our brush tool, which actually uses for like this area to have it color. Like I want to have a color like this, so it just colors the area back. So let's do control Z. So it just colors the area back. Let's zoom in from control plus plus plus, and let's do this area, and we want this area back. What we would actually do is this, and then so this brush tool is also helpful for coloring the image. So I've selected this perfectly, and let's do control 0. Okay, now we have this lasso tool. This is like the polygonal lasso tool, and you have the lasso tool back. So in this lasso tool you can also add and you can also subtract. So if you have to add, so this area would be added. Like I want to add this area, and this area would actually be added. So let's do control Z and Z. Now we have this subtract area. So I just want to subtract this area for an example, and you can see the area you selected has been subtracted. So let's do control C. Okay, now we have this intersect. If we select this area, and you can see this area has remained and the other has removed. So let's do control Z. Now we have our hand tool, so you can move it from, if I do control plus, and you can see we can just move this from hand tool. Okay, so now we have this zoom in tool and zoom out tool, so you can also zoom in and you can also zoom out. So let's do control 0. Okay, so these were only the basic tools. On our right hand we have our properties panel, where you have this view, and this view you can also do marching ants, where this is much better. This is way better actually. You can have your hairs right here. Okay, so then you have your overlay. Overlay is same, it just tells you the selection you have or the girl you have selected out. Then you have this on black, on white, on black and white. So you can see we have on black and white. I want the brush tool actually for finding this edge, or I want this quick selection tool. I want to select this area. I would just paint this. Okay, so this is This looks cool actually. I'm gonna do alt and I'm gonna have this. Okay, so now you can see this finance tool or the view is good for these things. Okay, let's ping this also and let's do this. Okay, now we have our on layers. So this is on layers actually. Okay, now let's go back to your onion skin. You have your transparency, you can have it a little larger or you can have it a little lower. So I'm just gonna have like this. Then you have your edge detection. And your edge detection, you have your radius, which also hardens the edges or it smooths the edges. So it's like transparency. I was setting the smart radius. Then you have your global refinements where you have your smooth. Where the smoothens the edges actually. So I'm gonna have it a little low. Okay, then we have our feather. Feather is actually not used a bit, but I'm gonna have it a little bit of 1.0 pixels. Then you have contrast. Contrast is used after the feather. Contrast is also like feather too. So feather is to soften the edges and contrast is to harden the edges. So then you have your shift edge. What shift edge do is shift the edges up or it shifts the edges down. So up and you can have down. So I'm going to have it a little bit. Okay. Now you have your output settings. You have your decontaminate colors with, like, for example, if you have like green in your hair and green outside, so these decontaminate colors help you out of them. So output to, I'm gonna output to my layer mask. Let's do a little of it and I'm gonna, okay, let's have a lot of it. Okay, so everything's selected. Remember settings, if you want to have it remember, so you can also remember your settings. Okay, I'm gonna have it new layer with layer mask, or you can have your layer mask actually. So I'm gonna have a new layer with layer mask and that's okay. So you have your new layer with your layer mask. So if I go here, you have this, and if I go here, you have this. You can also edit it from, like, it's a little rough. What you would actually do is control plus and have your hand tool, and I want to select this area. What I would do is have a brush tool and have my this area, or let's do control 0 and I'm back over here, right? So let's do control Z. Okay, so you can have like a little of this. Okay guys, I hope that you have understood it, and it looks a little messy actually, but make sure when you are actually doing it, you do it perfectly and verify it, because if I do it perfect, the video would get a little longer. And I hope that you've understood how to do select and mask and what is the use of the tools in select and mask. And guys, thanks for watching, and if you really like my video, please subscribe, like and comment, and do share it so that your other friends could know about it, and do hit the bell icon so that you could be updated for my new videos. Thanks for watching.